Hi, friends. This coming Sunday is Transfiguration Sunday on the liturgical calendar. The Transfiguration is when Jesus takes Peter, James, and John up a mountain, and they see his face shine like the sun, and his clothes become bright as light. Then Moses and Elijah, who have been dead for centuries, appear and talk with Jesus. And then the very voice of God echoes the same proclamation as at Jesus' baptism. This is my Son, the beloved. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him. In the Gospel of Matthew's account, this happens just after Jesus foretells his impending suffering, death, and resurrection. Matthew 16:21 says, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and undergo great suffering at the hands of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. This news of Jesus' impending suffering and being murdered and then rising from the dead must have been shocking and unbelievable to the disciples, not to mention distressing to his closest friends and followers. Remember, they had not read the book. They didn't know how all of this was going to turn out. Peter was so bold as to take Jesus aside and to rebuke him. God forbid it, Lord. This must never happen to you. 6 days after this shocking, distressing news, Jesus takes Peter, James, and John, the same three that he will later take into the Garden of Gethsemane, to a high mountain where he is transfigured before their very eyes. The voice of God confirms Jesus' identity and dispels any lingering doubts about Jesus' talk of suffering, death, and resurrection. The timing is significant. Right after Jesus predicts the difficult road ahead, which will lead to the cross, and just as he and the disciples are about to embark on that journey, the disciples are assured that the one who will suffer and die and be raised again is none other than the very Son of God. That same assurance enables us to walk the way of the cross. That is, the way of discipleship, with courage and with faith. Our faith journey and our life experiences are sometimes somber and distressing and scary and confusing. But in shadowy times, the light of the transfigured Jesus gives us hope in the moment and promise for the future, when we will bask in the light of the resurrected Christ. I know that not everyone in my YouTube congregation is also in my centenary congregation, so if you haven't heard the news yet, this coming summer I'll be moving to the North Broadway United Methodist Church in Columbus. So please pray for Centenary and North Broadway and my family as we transition into the next chapter of our life and ministry. And if you're in the Columbus area and don't have a home church, I'll see you at North Broadway. Next Wednesday is Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent, and we will have a worship service at 7 o'clock here in the sanctuary and also live streamed. So that will take the place of the Midweek Message next week. I hope you'll be able to join us. Thanks for listening today and have a great rest of the week.